tatta dhinta takita dhimta dhinta tam.
Hello everyone, this is Padma. Welcome to my channel. On this channel I share with you practices and philosophy from ancient goddess tradition from my culture, which is India. And this week I am continuing to share with you practices about Shiva. As I explained in my previous video, these are the times of Shiva. This is the emergence of the Shiva consciousness, and it is so because we live in times of very strong mental consciousness. Now, if you haven't had a chance to look at my previous video, I will put a link in the detail section, and you can go and check it out for yourself. But just to summarize it, these are times where the mental consciousness of the world is very strong, and I'm sure that many of you can feel this, where the mind has somewhat reached its limits of trying to control reality. And so just the mind, as the mental consciousness usually does, it sort of intensifies and digs its heels. And Shiva is this beautiful invitation of not resisting the mind or diminishing the mind or mocking the mind, because there is no diminishing and mockery in this practice, but it is harnessing the power and strength of the mind, because the mind has an immense amount of vitality and strength and power, which actually dissipates in its resistance. So whenever the mind is kind of resisting, it's going back to what it already knows. And in a certain way, it takes away the vitality, presence, and energy that the mind is capable of. So in the Shiva practice, what we do is we actually invite the mind to turn all of that vitality and energy towards the goddess or towards the embodied consciousness, which is of course the greater part of reality. And this simple practice today is about the rhythms of Shiva. And I'm doing this because I know we're all going into very busy times of holidays and gatherings and festivities. And so this is a practice that doesn't require a lot of thinking, worrying. It's very simple. You might even find yourself doing it right in the middle of gatherings or activities or busyness. So it is a rhythm practice of Shiva. And the beautiful thing about rhythm is that the mind actually loves rhythm. And the mind loves rhythm because rhythm is got a structure, it's got a regularity, and the mind loves this. The mind is always trying to find structure or impose structure. So it likes rhythm. But what we do with this rhythm is that we actually expand the mind beyond what it's used to, its comfort zone. So there are certain rhythms which is very comfortable to the mind, and it doesn't really move it. There's no real movement there. But there are also some rhythms which really take the mind into that, into it, pushes its boundaries and takes it towards this expansiveness. And the mind actually finds a lot of vitality when it is in places where it's new, and it's kind of finds its spirit of adventure. So this is a 5-beat rhythm, and 5 is a very traditional rhythm of Shiva. So the mantra of Shiva itself, which is Nama Shivaya, is 5 syllables, and that comes from the 5-beat rhythm. So join me in this beautiful, very simple rhythm, and let's see what happens to that flow between the mental consciousness and embodied consciousness. So the first thing is we drop into our lower body, so drop that into the weight in the feet and free up the hips, as we always do in this practice. So we find that sensation, that connection to the earth through the feet, the weight in the feet, and that flow through the hips. And the 5-beat rhythm, as you're finding that connection and just allowing the weight everywhere in your body, from your head, the thoughts, to just drop down into the feet. And as you do that, let me just introduce you to the 5 beats. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ta ka ta ki ta ta ka ta ki ta. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can clap it out with me. Helps the mind. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't try and get it perfectly. Just go along. Even if you feel you're muddling along, doesn't matter. Ka, ta, ki, ta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. And allow that weight, the flow down to just start connecting. Da 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 dum 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 dum. The head go da da dum 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 dum. And now we're going to bring that as rhythm in the feet, in the weight. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ta da da dum bum bum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ta ka ta ki ta 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 ta ka ta ki ta. So you see how I have the flow. Dum da 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 ka ta. Now I'm going to move into the next tempo up, which is ta ka ta ki ta ta ka ta ki ta ta da da dum 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 ta ka ta ki ta ta ka ta ki. I just add an and. Ta ki ta ta ka 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 ta ki ta ka. And then on to the next tempo. I'm just going to move my spot because I think the ants are a bit cross with me that I'm standing on their space, which I am. So I will try and be respectful. And so here we are. And this one is the third tempo, which is ta da 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 dum da da da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tak tak ki ta tak tak ki ta ka tak ki ta tak tak ki ta ka tak ki ta tak tak ki ta. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tak tak ki ta tak tak ki ta tak tak ki ta ka tak ki ta ka tak ki ta tak. And dum da da dum dum dum. So you can see how when we go up in the tempo, there's much more of that punchy kind of martial feeling to that same rhythm. Da-da. And here we go into that more spacious da-da-dum bum ta ka ta ki ta. Now, as you do that, bring more of the upper body in your own way. There's no choreography. Tum da da dum, and allow yourself to move. Da da dum 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 da 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 dum da 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 dum da 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 dum. You don't even have to beat the rhythm. Dum da 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 da. And you can also, in fact, I would invite you to actually say that rhythm with the mouth, because that also helps the mind to come into the body and into that flow and rhythm. Da da da. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I would actually invite you not to use the numbers. Just make some sounds like I'm doing. Dum da 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 dum da da dum dum da 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 dum dum da. And da da dum da da dum da dum 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 da 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 dum da 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 do do dum 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 da 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 dum do do dum dum da 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 dum 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 da 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 dum dum da 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 dum da 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 dum da 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 dun da 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 dun da 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 dun da 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 da. Let the energy change. Da 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 dum da da dun da 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 dun da 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 dum 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 da 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 dum 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 da 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 da. Give yourself some time to enjoy that spaciousness, you know, where the mind is kind of let go and you've just got that beautiful movement, flow, and that spaciousness. So that is the 5-beat rhythm of Shiva. And all these rhythms, of course, they have effects on our consciousness and our sensation. So the 5-beat, like I said, is that flow in Shiva between, the more flowing into the more martial, the flowing, and again, that's the whole divine masculine aspect, so that mind's energy, that resistance energy, we really beautifully make it flow. And then it can come back and it can flow, and there is this flow, because nothing is right or wrong. It's just if it's made to flow, that kind of gives us that breadth and spaciousness that is the nature of reality itself. So I do hope that in the middle of a busy time that must be coming up for all of us, I hope that this will bring you, some sense of that beautiful presence of Shiva. When you find yourself, your mind kind of locking in, sometimes gatherings and things can also be fraught at times. And so when you find yourself, feeling a bit locked, maybe you will just burst into the 5-beat rhythm, and maybe others all around you will join you as well. So thank you so much again. I hope that you all have a wonderful, those who celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a wonderful and beautiful festival, a loving gathering. And the others, I hope you all have a wonderful holiday, and I will see you again next week for another practice.